Hi there, my name is Graham. In Second Life, I'm known as Hrdtop75 Deluxe. I volunteer at the Virtual Railway Consortium. The Virtual Railway Consortium consists of members in groups that enjoy the railways around Second Life. They provide free open source scripts and builds for the residents to enjoy. In this series, I'm going to make a mesh locomotive from scratch using free software found on the net and open source scripts from the Virtual Railway Consortium. The reason why I'm making this series is to show you how it can be easy to make something from scratch and prevent DMCA takedowns. DMCA being Digital Millennium Copyright. But most importantly, help out newcomers to the railroads in Second Life. Join me live once a week, Mondays 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time or Sunday 2400 SLT. The video will also be available for viewing later as well. But for now, let's get on with the build. Okay. Hello. Hope the audio is a bit better this time. Okay. Welcome back to part 2. Part 2 of the mesh modelling for the Second Life Railway. Last time around, last episode, I actually had issues with sound. So to address that, it's not something that I can hear because I actually use a 2PC stream. So yeah, I heard that when I replayed it back probably about 15 minutes after the recording, so that was obviously in one of the scenes. Every time I went into Blender or every time I went into Second Life, it turned up as an echo because I actually had 2 sound captures coming from the one place and one was delayed. That's not going to be an issue this time because I fixed it. This time around, we're going to look into Blender. We've done a little bit of setting up in Blender last time. This time around, we're going to start building. We're going to make the... I'll actually have a look at that drawing that I did, that real crappy drawing. There we go. Okay. So this drawing here, we're going to make the green part today. Only the top green part. We're going to start with that. We'll do the chassis, which is in pink. We'll do that next time around. So a lot of the detail this time is going to be in the top half of the body. And we'll work from there. Should be nice and easy. Apologise for any background noise that we're going to get. The next door neighbour and the old man's playing games, so anyway. Now, I was going to make some changes to the build, but I've actually decided not to. I'm going to stick with my plans on making the first version of this train. And the first version doesn't have this part here in orange. I don't know if they're storage boxes. I've got no idea what they are. I was going to make them part of the mesh model, but I'm going to actually add them separate later on. That'll give me the option then to make a Mark 1, Mark 2, all different versions. What else have we got here? At the end of the stream, I'll obviously got a little bit of a competition going, so I'll bring that up at the end. Last episode, I told you that I'd walk through Blender with you, and I obviously didn't. I just got straight into it and started building along, like as if I thought, everyone knew what they were doing. So obviously not going to do that. Also, people have asked me about the time that I'm actually streaming live on. Now, it's interesting because I didn't want to confuse people. Every time I give times in Second Life, people always freak out. It's always not how they expect it. So I thought I'd make it easy this time, and I've still freaked people out. So, to explain it, I'll draw a picture. I didn't think... I thought it would be the easiest way to explain something, but okay, so we all know that there's 1 AM and 1 PM, right? This is another one of them famous drawings. This is going to be great. Now, if I told you 12 o'clock, that could be noon, that could be midnight. But if you were talking about one day, Monday being one whole day, then technically you've got 24 hours in a day, and then people don't get confused that way. It can confuse a lot of people, but anyway, I don't want to really get into that. That's the reason why I wrote down 2400. That's the reason why I didn't write down 11:59 or 23:59 or 12 PM, 12 AM. Just freak people out. So, that time could end up changing. We're going into daylight savings in Australia soon. Obviously, I've picked this time because I will be returning back to the workplace very soon. So, if I keep it the same time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, the only time it should change would be in Second Life. Now, I don't know if that's going to change as well. I've got no idea. I haven't done any research into it whatsoever. But that'll be next time around. I've still got one more week before daylight savings kicks in, so I'll get you updated on the next episode. Other points that I wanted to make. That's pretty much it. As I was saying earlier, I only want to work on the body today. There is going to be a lot of holes and manipulation that I'm going to have to put into this build, into the top half. We might hopefully be able to cut some holes in it this afternoon or today. Once again, 2-hour build. I'm already 10 minutes into the live stream. What do we got? Oh, I haven't even figured out which locomotive, the last episode I didn't know which locomotive I was going to build. I just knew that I wanted to build that style, and there's obviously 5 styles, and one of them locomotives is going to be one of them that I want to build. They've all got separate numbers. There's over, I think there's over 200. I think there's about 200 locomotives in the whole fleet. Obviously, these days, we don't have that many getting around. They were brought into service in 1950s, and most of them were taken off the road in 1990s. They've obviously been replaced and things like that. But I have decided, as we head into Second Life, I've decided that I want to build something that's going to go along with this locomotive. So we have a bit of a heritage locomotive set over here where they chop and change things, do like outings, and I just thought it looked pretty cool to have the locomotive behind this one with carriage sets roaming around Second Life. So I thought we'll give that a crack. So same colour scheme, and that colour scheme is called Indian Red. So hopefully put something together with that. And the locomotive I'm going to make is 4807. Now that locomotive, I believe, is in preservation, and I think it's down in Canberra at the moment, or it could be south of Sydney in Australia, so I might be able to go visit it, get up close, do some looking around. Okay, what have we got so far? Gone over the last episode, locomotive of choice. Well, 4807, that's what we're doing. I should actually go find you a picture of one. 4807. That's obviously not the locomotive in the thumbnail either. So, Wales Government Railway 4807. As you can see, I've got Karnak up at the moment, because we are going to head straight into Blender right after this. Okay. Don't know. There we go. That might be a good picture, if that helps you. Now that's supposed to be Indian Red, and as you can see over here where my mouse is, that's supposed to be Indian Red as well. Because a lot of these locomotives were painted all different times, all the colours actually change. So they never had the same mixture, or they weren't mixing it in-house, the paint. So that's just what happened. Now let's go and have a walk through Blender. And see what's going down over there. So last time we were in Blender, I put up 2 images for scaling. Now these obviously don't represent true scale. These are just scales side by side. Go to view. There is shortcuts to do this as well. So number pad number 1 for front. So I've lined up the main front of the body with the side view, left hand side. Control plus number 3 pad will get you this one. And we go into solid mode, and you can see I've put a cube there, and we've pretty much measured it out. If anything, I think that back end could come out a little bit further, but I want to leave it there. Now, put this back into wireframe mode. We're going to do a walkthrough. I'm going to show you some of the things that we're going to be using, there's going to be a lot of things that we are not going to use. So, on the side here, got a lot of tools here. If you hover over a tool, it'll give you a shortcut as well. So translate is G. Oh, I think you could also use it as grab or whatever. Rotate is R. Scale is S. So this is why I've got Karnak down the bottom there, which let's type some stuff in. Let's go A to select all and S to scale. There you go. So deselect. A to deselect again. So Karnak's going to show up everything that I do. I'm not 100% happy with Karnak because if I hold down A to select all, but hold it for too long, it actually starts multiplying numbers, which is not right because I'm only holding it. So I don't know what the story is there. That might be painful over time. So we got over here the left hand side, all the transforms, push, pull, shrink, flatten. We're going to use translate, rotate and scale. Mesh tool, slide, verts, noise, smoothing verts. We're going to use a fair bit of that. Randomizing, we're not going to randomize a thing. We're going to use extrude. You can also extrude regions, but we're not going to use that. You can hit buttons and all that as well. There's a few things here that don't have shortcuts. We're going to use, this episode, we're going to use a lot of loop, cut and slide. Subdividing, not really. I might use duplicate a couple of times. In this, I think I might use rotation a little bit. Not much. Deleting, well, you can use your average, just your delete button on your keyboard for that. Merge is always good. We're going to use that, but there's no shortcut to it. So if I went, let's say we moved around here, go into solid mode, and I wanted to select a vert. Is that what we're going to call them in this? Yeah, vert, just a single vert. Let's select one, select another one with shift. Then you can press merge, and then you got your alts. But if you look at it, all the shortcuts there, it's all the same. Alt M, Alt M, Alt M. That's merge at first, merge at last, merge at center, merge at cursor, or collapse. It's all Alt M. Just go in and select it all. It's easier. Go back to left side, control number 3. We'll go back to wireframe so you can see what I'm doing. Now, weight, tools, and history. Jeez. The whole 6 years I've been using Blender, I've never used history. Weight tools. I've tried making a 3D character in Second Life once. I gave up. I didn't give up, but there was no interest in that character anymore. So I didn't even get around to using the weight tools. That's for when you want to put a skeleton down and then make the model snap to the skeleton. That's when we use our weight tools. Down the bottom, got our editor types. So we can go into all different types. UV image editors. We're going to use that. When are we going to use that? I don't think we're going to use that today. Maybe next time. Node editors. If you really want to get super tricky into it, which we're not going to do, we're just going to keep it nice, plain and simple. You use your node editor. You can make movie clips in this. You can also make animations. You can make a lot of things. We're not going to animate anything because when we bring it into, if we do animate something and bring it in the world, there's no way of stopping the animation when we jump into the locomotive or do anything like that. So we're not going to use that in this episode or this series at all. There's all your views, left, rights, tops, everything like that. Obviously I've got an image on the left hand side and the front. You can also put them on tops, right hand sides, underneath, backs, pretty much limitless. Select. Here's part of your selection tools again. Pretty all basic stuff really. Select A, deselect A. There we go. Go here, A, deselect A. Everything's highlighted. Looks pretty simple. Border select. That's always a good one. Hold down B. Slide. Just like when you're in world, press A to get out of that. Oh, didn't work. A, no, A. Right click, mouse button, and A. Like when you're in world and you want to set your root prim, you put all your things onto one side and highlight it, and then make sure that your root prim's last, which is shift. It's pretty much the same setup when you're in edit mode. Edge loops, rings. We're not going to use edge loops. We're not going to use rings. We're going to try and keep this as basic as possible because that's what we want. We just want the basic knowledge is what we're going to do here. Here we go. We can add all different shapes. Now, it doesn't matter what version of Blender you've got. The monkey head's always going to be there, and that's the logo for Blender. Simple as. Cones, cylinders, all different kinds of spheres, circles, cubes, planes. Mesh. Show hide selections. Yeah, we're not going to use that. There is a way of making symmetry, so when you build, I'll have to grab my other mouse here. I'll have to show you what I'm talking about. Symmetry. So when we're building an object, we can build on one half, and on the opposite side, everything will automatically build. It's really good, it's really handy if the object that you're making is symmetrical, which what we're doing is not going to be. We're actually going to have changes, door positions are going to be different places, on top of the roof as well. There's going to be, let's go back to, I've got my mouse on the screen, yep. You see a vent across the top here. That's not in the center of the locomotive, and I don't know why they've done that. I'm sure we'll find out, but I don't know why they've done that. It's not symmetrical. The stuff in the cab, that's not symmetrical. There's a door on this side, and then on the opposite side of the cab there's a door on this side. There's no door here, and there's no door here on the opposite side. So what do you do? The front and the back, they're not symmetrical either. So there's really no point in using it. Go back to our mesh button. Cleanups. There is a dissolve tool there where you can simplify the mesh, but we're not going to do that. If you build it properly in the first place, you're not going to have any problems. Normals. Well, we quickly spoke about normals last time. There's our mesh. We'll put it back into solid mode so you can see it. So that, what would you say that is? Aqua? An aqua coloured line. If that's pointing out, that's the face. If we go right click, we've just got to select the face down the bottom. select the face, and the keyboard shortcut. I know the keyboard shortcut, but anyway, normals. There we go. Flip normals. I believe it's WF or something like that. That'll get you flip normals. Except if we flip it, you can see now A to select everything. That line is now gone. If I texture that, that face will now be invisible. There won't technically be a face there. So we select the face, WF, to flip a normal. Obviously not 20 times, you don't have to do it 20 times. For some reason Karnak's doing that, and I don't know. Okay. Mirror, transform, snap. Snapping tool's not too bad. I don't mind that. It doesn't merge. Delete, you can usually just use normal standard delete key. You don't have to use X. Every time you do want to delete something, select what you want. Edge select, vert select, face select. It's just easier to go ahead and do that. That way you know that you've selected it. It's just so much easier. There are snapping tools down the bottom there as well, but we're still in mesh down here, aren't we? Usual thing, redo, undo. All the history keys there, Control Alt Z, all that. Don't use Alt F4. No, don't do that. Okay, next is edit mode. Currently we are in edit mode. We can go into object mode. You'll see now that all I can do is select the complete object. I can't select the vert. There's no vert keys down the bottom there. Go into edit mode. You can also make sculpties and everything in this program, but seriously, who uses sculpties? Okay. All the different ways we can go about looking at the model. So we got wireframe mode. You can see straight through it. Now that's going to be handy when we are inside the cab and we're trying to build something inside the cab without seeing the outside of the body. That's going to be very handy. What do we got? What do we got? Vert painting, weight tools. A lot of that's going to be for animating models. We're not going to need that. All your different cursors down the bottom here. We're really not going to use any of that either. Down the bottom once again, vert select, edge select, face select. Proportional editing. I've never really used that. And don't forget that I'm not exactly the ace gun #1 at Blender either, so I just know how to use it. I know how to get out of trouble when I'm in trouble. Shadings, okay, put that back to there again. There's a little plus symbol up here on the top of the screen. This is where I added my images. You can see there, background images. Select the image, move them around, blah, 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 blah. And that's how, when I go to view, left, control, pad, left. There you go. Control number pad 3 will give you a left-hand side view. That is only visible, your image over here is only visible when you're in ortho or local view. So number 5 on the keypad will get rid of that and put you back into a different view altogether. So you got the perfect side view, or you got your 3D view. Now I don't know why that's telling me it's clear. That's just number 5. Wow, looks like Karnak's going to be a pain in the backside. normals. You can select verts, edges, or faces. When texturing, we always want faces, all the time. All the time. You can also control the length of that aqua arrow. When it gets more complex, you might want to reduce the size of it. Mesh display, faces, you can just tick everything here that you need. Faces, edges, creases. We are going to use seams, but not right now. So we don't need to a lot of that anyway. Right hand side of the screen. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to have to move underneath where my arrow is right now. All your animation stuff is right below. We're not going to use that, so I've tried to maximize the screen so that we can see as much as we possibly can. Top right hand corner. This is all of our rendering stuff on the right hand side, top right where the arrow is right now. Rendering layers, you can layer it, your world scene. Actually, I don't even have that viewed at the moment. If you're used to using GIMP, you can lock scenes and cubes, lamps, cameras. You can do a lot like that. Right at the very end of the build, we're going to start putting in lamps so that we can see what we're doing. Other than that, laughing. Down below, select your data and all that. We can texture individual pieces, but we're not going to do that because I want to make multiple different mesh pieces to script properly for the Second Life Railroad. So we're not going to make multiple textures. Usually you can select the name, like at the moment we've got a cube on the actual screen, and I could probably name that body. Then I can come down and make the chassis, we'll name that chassis, and then we can individually map it. We can then individually texture it, but I want to do it properly. I want to do everything basic, and I want to make sure that I can make multiple different models or different models of the locomotive with all the texture layouts, the UV layouts that I'm going to make. So you got scenes, you can add things to it, world perspectives. We are going to use bump mapping and also shine maps. I can't remember what they're called in Second Life off the top of my head. We'll go back to Second Life and have a look. Oh, here you go. Here's a locomotive. Edit. Textures. My father's in the background yawning. I didn't realise this was so boring for him. Okay, so we've got a texture layer. We're going to texture that in GIMP. Then we've got a bump map. You can see the edge of this locomotive looks a little bit bumpy. Or like around here, it looks a little bit bumpy. It looks bumpy, but it's not. It's really weird. And we're going to texture that in GIMP using a plugin. Just nice and simple. We don't have to screw around much. And we can choose which way. How am I going to say? The bumpiness. How the bumpiness actually. He's really bored with this bloody conversation, isn't he? You can change which direction the bump goes. So you can make it bump up, or you can make it bump down. That's obviously in GIMP. We're going to use GIMP because it's a free open source program, and Torley Linden recommended it. And I like GIMP anyway. It's free. Nobody uses Adobe these days. Adobe's crap. All the Photoshops and all that crap. Shine map. We're going to make a shine map in... where are we going to make that? That's in GIMP as well. Now I think white's the shiny one and black's the dull coloured one from memory, I think. So anyway, we'll look at that later on. We're not even anywhere near that right now. Make sure that I've got everything right. Yeah, everything's good there. Now, let's get back into Blender. We're going to start screwing around with this model. So, A to deselect. Now, we're going to look on the mouse button. I'm scrolling in and out to look around. I can use the shift key to go up and down, and I think it's control to go side to side. There you go. Just still using the mouse key. So what I want to do is go this way. I want to select that face because I've just noticed that I haven't really scaled it that well. Control number pad 3. I'm going to go next. Don't know what's next. It's page down on the number pad key, but anyway. That face is selected. You can see the orange marker. Oh no, I'm not even on the right scene. Go back. What a turkey. What a turkey. I've got to look at my other computer more often. So, we're going to look here. As I was explaining, shift up and down with the mouse, in and out with the mouse, scroll, control with the mouse, scroll, left and right, control back to the front, go back to that there. I pressed left on the number pad or number 4 a couple of times. I've already selected the face. Select the face down the bottom there, face select there, control, number pad 3. And I'm going to grab that on the green, just like Second Life. Green is y-axis. Grab on the y-axis. I'm going to move that there. Well, not capital, fat fingers. There we go. Control, go across the other way. You can see I'm out there as well. I'm going to grab that face. Right click to grab a face. Control pad number 3. Grab on the Y axis. Right there. Okay. We are now going to... Let's start sideways. Let's start with the side. A to select all. At the moment we've only got a cube. And I want to leave it as a cube for now. What do we got? What do we got? We can start with a cab. Yeah, start with a cab. Okay, we'll go loop cut and slide. We can go Control R, but for some reason I always go to the left hand side there. Loop cut and slide. I'm going to try and... You can see it's going to... Oh, there we go. Purple line is showing us where it wants to go. We're going to multiply it by 2. And we're going to go, yep. But we're going to bring one up so it's in alignment. And Control, scroll. I think we'll get away with that. A to select all. Now we go and have a look at the model. And you can see we've now got multiple faces. And all we did was loop cut slide, and I scrolled with the mouse pad to grab 2 extra verts, or 2 extra sides, edges, whatever. Now we're going to select edges down the bottom, it's already selected. I'm going to press Shift and pray to God this works. Nope, didn't work. Okay. We'll go around the model, select them all, Shift, right click to select. There you go. I think you can also use a W key as well from memory. Control 3. We've selected all them edges. We're going to grab it on the y-axis and bring it forward. Grab it on the Y, bring it forward. Okay. So now we've got that cube where it should be. A to select all, go back to face mode, select that face, and we'll select this face. And we're going to start seeing the model move around a bit now, because we are now going to go into, I can't remember the front view now. Front is number pad 1. Now that is on the x-axis, so we go extrude, E for extrude, G for grab, no we don't have to grab it, extrude scale on the X. There we go. Now you can probably see we're going to have problems because the cab is actually lower. I reckon we're going to have to cut that in. I think I've scaled it too far as well. Scale on the X. Scale X. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's look up, see what we got. And we go back into solid. Now we've got an extra 8 faces. So you can see it's not that hard to do. Now you can actually build it like in Second Life, and you just use cubes. It works that way too, and export it as a mesh. Laughing. But we're going to do it this way, just to prove how reasonably simple it is anyway. Now we'll start transforming that roof, because we've already got problems here. A to deselect, view, front, number pad 1. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Control, I think I might have stumped myself. Images don't line up. Yeah, the images don't line up. So who's right and who's wrong? Okay. Looking at this model that I've got, let's go back to front view. That's perspective. That's the reason why that's done that. Okay. There you go. There's always something there to stump you. Perspective. Because this part of the locomotive is closer to us in the photo, it makes this part look further away and therefore smaller. Okay. It's going to be a bit harder to work with. Looking at that model, we'll go back to that model and I'll show you. No, not that scene. There we go. It is actually the same as what I've got. Okay. Let's go back to so we've got a problem with that image straight away. Okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Pack up and go home, that's what we should do. No, we're not going to give up that easily. Oh, I've cocked up again, actually, by the looks of this. That front face. Solid mode. Face. Control 3. Should be back. Grab. Why is it on the Z axis now? What's going on here? No, something's wrong. Why did all the axes just change on me? Grab Z. No. Grab Y, that's better. There we go. Control 3. Grab Y. There we go, right there. Let's add the roof in. Let's add the roof in. This is going to be a bit harder than I thought. I was just expecting a nice and simple build here. Mesh. Add a cylinder. We'll grab that on the Z axis, move it away. We want to rotate that to, let's go to object mode. Can we do that? Yep, rotation on the, I think it's on the X axis. No. Uh-oh. Okay, it's not going to do it. Add that one. Grab Z because I've got it selected, and I'm going to select not the lamp, not the cube, not the camera. It's not even there. It doesn't exist. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Well, I guess for starters, we're going to have to start deleting some faces anyway, so no, go from there, straight up and over to select that face there, I think. Go back into that mode. I'm going to wireframe, that might help us out. To there. be careful when you're in wireframe as well. You can actually pick up the other mesh parts as well. And we're just going to delete them faces. So delete on the keyboard, faces. And it didn't select the edges for some reason. Other way to go about it. Select edges. B for border select. Delete edges. B border select. Edges again, getting closer. Delete edges. Now we go B to border select. That should grab everything there. Even if we just go into faces there. There we go. Are the faces facing the correct way? Yes, they are. Okay, let's rotate it. R to rotate. Tell you what, we need some music. I usually sit here and listen to like Metallica or something like that, but obviously I can't play that on YouTube. You can also drag your mouse all the way across the screen multiple times as well, just to try and get that perfect angle. There we go. That looks pretty good. Go into front mode, which is number pad 1. And you can see the shape is way out. So we grab it. It's not even centered properly for some reason. I can't even locate it. Why? I don't even have a center face to go off. We'll go into edge mode, that might give us a center. Nope. Sucks to be me. Let's scale this on the Z. You can see the shape automatically shifting. And then we'll scale it on the, you can see down the bottom here, it shows your axis on the bottom. Obviously that's going to change every time you move your viewer. So we're going to scale that on the X. Scale X. And she's reasonably flat, that roof too, so let's go, let's just call it a day and go and grab a beer. That'll do. We'll go to solid mode. I think we might have too many faces for that roof, but we do want the roof to be smooth. And we are going to need, I don't think I've got any pictures. I'm going to have a look for 4807 again. Locomotive. Images. There should be a photo of the top of it. It's the same as the rest of them, but it'd be good to have a good image just to prove a point. There was an image of it. where it was looking down from like a railway bridge, and you could see the angles of the roof. I should have saved a whole heap of pictures. No, that could be the image is too small. Anyway, you can see there. Obviously you can't because the image is so small. It's only, oh no, it's a big image. Here we go. Well, that's centered on the roof, but we're going to need quite a few edges so we could line up all these plates on the roof. So what we're going to do, get rid of that. I think with all the edges, and when I say edges, we're talking these parts here. I'm thinking that that's going to be fine. If we go into texture mode right now, that's not very good. Yeah, it's not very good. Object mode. Object mode. You can see the faces, they're all square. Obviously, we'd have to fix them up later on. But I think we should get the whole roof thing fixed up first. So, go back into edit mode. We've got all of our faces. Let's keep moving around this way. Go back to camera 1. And I think we're going to have to actually, where is that on the model? Go Control 3. Go to wireframe, border select, boom. I've also picked up another face, which is not what I want. Okay, so we deselect, shift right control, nope. There we go. I used shift right click on the dot that I didn't want, on the face dot. So now if I go grab on the Y axis, bring that forward so I'm in perspective with the roof, Control 3 to bring back the side. Delete on the number keypad also brings your camera into the correct view as well. So it automatically centers what you've got selected in the middle of your view. Scale on the Z, because I feel that at the moment that roof's too large. Grab it on the Z, bring it down. Still too large. Scale Z, grab Z. I reckon we can run with that. Probably still too large. Scale Z one last time. And grab Z. Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with that. Number 1 on the number pad. Obviously the perspective's out because I said so. Just the roof off here, you can't line that up with the roof part here. There, up and over, it's not going to be the same. But if we go to Control 3 on the number pad, that looks pretty good to the side of that. I think if I scaled it off the other side, there'd be no headroom, there'd be nothing. So grab, whoops, right click to undo, grab on the Y axis, I'll just move it to the center, and no, I'll bring that back. Grab Y, line these faces up, scale Y, grab Y. Okay. You can see that the normal on the face is kind of lined up with that dot there. Probably go grab Y just to move it a little bit further. There we go. So that should line up. Go back into solid mode. And we're going to go into vert mode as well. I just want to check out number 1 again. See, I don't like where there's a vert right there and it's not centered with the line. So I'm going to get a little bit anal, I'm going to move it. Go grab X. Yeah, that looks way better. I'm going to scale X as well, just a little bit. It should be alright. Okay. Now, for the tricky part. Tricky. Tempted to get rid of a couple of them faces just to bring it closer down, but it's to scale on the side, so I don't really want to do that either. There. With the starters, we can merge a few different things. Select the vert there, delete on the keypad to come in closer. Select, right click the other one and merge at last. Select a vert, delete on the keypad, select, right click, merge at last. One there. Okay, grab the last one, do there, merge at last. A to deselect. Now, I've grabbed it the opposite way. I can actually go and grab the one I want to move and merge it at first. Same thing. Same but different. Now, I've got that lined up half decent. I don't mind that. I'm going to grab faces, that face, that face, that face, and delete. Actually, maybe I shouldn't. No, I'm not. Because I've still got to make the point of the front, and also make the door at the back as well. Okay, so I've deselected that because I want to make the center line using the faces of the model at the moment. So I should be able to go loop, cut and slide that way. Now it's got selected one face. At the moment I can actually move that around, only sideways, but I'm going to right click that, put it back in the center. It always starts in the center. A to select all. I'm going to grab verts. Select the verts. Control 3 for the side. Now I've only grabbed the front verts, and I want to grab them on the y-axis. And it is pointy at the front end, believe it or not. Believe it or not. Okay. Now, A to deselect. Now right at the back here is going to get a bit tricky, because maybe not, because sometimes you gotta sit back and have a think about it, because it can make things a lot more difficult on yourself. What I was just thinking then is I've already got my center line in the back, but I need to. I don't think you're going to be able to see that. Go to an image. Go to an image. Change my scene. So right here is where the door is going to be in the rear end. So let's go and find an image. Not of that. Let's go to that. Hopefully someone's... There we go. There's the back end of one right there. Oh, it's not a very good image. 1200 by 900. Oh, thanks, guys. Can we view the image? View the image, please. No, mate. Come on. Maybe I'm just going to have to zoom in on it. Okay. Doesn't want to. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's a door. There is a door right there. It's only a narrow door. It's the same size as this here. But it's got to go in. It's got to go in. So, let's put that back to normal, because I know that'll annoy the piss out of me later. See if there's any other pictures first. There's another one there. Not a very good clear picture. That's not very good either. What size? 600. It's outlined a bit better. Not very good. Anyways, who cares? Oh, there we are. There we go. There we go. So you can see the doors right there, and that actually steps these two faces here, this face and this face, actually steps out. Not by much, only like about, oh jeez, probably only about a mil or something like that. No, not a mil. That's a joke. Probably be looking at about an inch. But there is a difference there. So to get my center, I need to loop, cut and slide. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. That is, yeah, I've definitely. Oh boy, what are we going to do? Let's just try it anyway. Let's just try it. Oh, I've got an idea. I know how to go. Yeah, I know what's going on now. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put multiple faces on it and then bring them back. Everything should be fine. So we're at the arse end of the model, or the back end of the model right now. We're going to put the door in there. It's only going to be a narrow door. So we go loop, cut and slide. Pick the right face, hopefully. 2. There we go. So if I put that loop, cut and slide 2 in there, A to deselect. No, okay. Right click to lock it into place. A to deselect. Loop, cut and slide. Multiply it by 2 with the scroll of the wheel. Right click. No, okay. Bug again then. Double it. Left click to put it in. Right click to put it into place. A to deselect. So technically I should have fronts and backs done now. So if I go, I shouldn't actually need any of them faces up the top anymore. However, I am going to make a few changes. So we're going to go into vert mode. Grab, right click, merge at last. Right click, merge at last. A right click. I'm holding shift as well with that. Merge at last. Right click, shift, right click, merge at last. A. Now I'm going to go in the center here. This is going to hurt me. Right click, merge at last. Right click, shift right click, merge at last. Okay, now we go quickly clean it up. That's what I wanted. I wanted a bit of a divide in the middle that would have a narrow door. So I think I got that. We're just going to go through. We're going to clean up all these lines because faces and verts is Second Life's enemy. So let's do a cleanup. Let's go right click. Yep, let's do it. Okay. Delete on the number pad to zoom in. Right click, shift, right click, shift, right click, shift, right click. Merge at last. I can live with that. I can live with that. Shift, right click, shift, right click, shift, right click, merge at last. Okay, we'll go underneath the model, do the exact same thing. That one's off to that side. One, right click, shift right click, shift right click, shift right click, merge at last. Right click, shift right click, shift right click, merge at last. A right click, shift right click, all the way to the end, merge at last. And just repeat. Merge at last. A. Probably do the same to that. Only no. We have that one, that one, that one. Merge at last. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Merge at last. A. That one, and that one. Merge at last. It's always good to keep your model reasonably clean so you know what you're doing. Reasonably, anyway. I am going to delete a lot of these faces very soon, so it's nothing to stress out about. I just want to make sure I got all the model in proportion. And there's going to be at last A. Then I'm going to delete that face, that face. I'll just select them now. A. Select faces down below. 1, 2, 3. Nope, not that one. These faces. And there's a few faces below. I'm going to end up deleting most of them because they're not going to be needed. Actually, there is one face I might keep. And we're going to have to flip the normals as well. We're going to definitely have to do that. So A to deselect. Make sure I'm on the right axis. Control 3. Yep. Come back around. Let's get rid of this face. Because what? No, we're not. We're not going to get rid of it. Select that one. Select it. What are we going to do with that? We're going to extrude. Grab it on the y-axis. Hopefully this works. Okay, maybe it doesn't want to work. It wants to go out but not in. Because it's scaled. Control Z. You see there's some extra faces there. If you don't look at your model, if you've made a mistake, it'll actually add verts and you won't even know that they're there. So we go, I've selected the face, extrude on the Y. See, it's already added 4 extra faces. We'll push that in just a little bit. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All the verts are facing the correct way. You can see that with the arrows. They all look pretty good. Now, you can see this face here. It's got like a weird line around it. That's because there's 2 faces on top of each other. But I'm not going to worry about that right now because it's not necessary to worry about it. Where are we up to? Geez, I tell you what, time flies. It's almost almost been in an hour and a half. Now I want to copy that roof. And I want to bring it in but I want to keep the same shape. So what we're going to do is A to select and deselect. Delete or the dot on the number pad. Okay, I want to copy that. Duplicate over there. Shift D on the Y. There we go. Now, I want to bring them sides in. I wonder if we can find an image of the front. A good, clean image of the front. Not really. No. There's not going to be anything there, scaling wise anyway, or something we can go off. See, when you look at all the different images, they all look... Oh, actually that looks flat there, doesn't it? Just really tall flat. Can it be trusted? But can it be trusted? Well, I know it's round. I know the roof is round. I know that for a fact. But how round is that roof? How round is that roof? And I can't exactly scale it because the top of the roof should be the same shape all the way through. So let's go to one on the control pad, one on the number pad, sorry. That should be the front of the locomotive, should be. If I go into... No, not that mode. One on the number, no. View, front, number pad 1. Yeah, it's not going to work. So I want to bring in them sides. Okay. We have to mess around with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we scale it? I don't think that's going to work. Scale X. Might work. I'll have to play around with it, but yeah. Let's give her a go. Let's give her a go. Control Z. How many faces did I lose? Okay, I pressed 5 on the control pad to give me a 3D view. We're in local view now, or perspective view. Scale on the X, scale X. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work for me. Let's go to number 5 to go back into local, or also, sorry, 1 to go back into there, and we'll scale on Z, scale Z. Okay, I've got an overlapped face in there now. Okay. Oops. A to select all. Just going to quickly delete a couple of faces. We're in face mode already. Delete that face. Face and that face. Make sure it is that face. Yep. Delete. Face. And we will go back into vert mode. A, select all, make sure everything's good. Merge at last. A, merge at last. A. Oh no, we lost some faces. Dang it. We lost some faces. Come on, faces. Come back. Come back to me. Oh, we have to do something dodgy. Okay. A to select all. Merge at last. Merge it first because I selected the other one first. I want to merge with that one. Merge at last. A. Merge at last. A. I'm now going to select the edges and go extrude on the Y. And our normals look good, which is great. Very happy about that. Grab. Bring that to there, merge at last, merge at last, and merge at last. A. Because I've just overlapped a few things, I'm going to go select all, and I'm going to go remove doubles. Nothing removed. Very good. So I didn't stuff up too bad. Now let's go to faces. We're in face mode. No, we're not. Face, 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 face. Actually, don't select that one. Select that one, that one, that one, that one. 4 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go back into 1. And I want to try and round that roof off again. Grab on the Z. Yeah, looks alright. I reckon we can live with that. Yeah. Yep, that'll do the job. Now, I still reckon that's too round looking. Let's go into Control 3 to go sideways. The high perspective's good. So keep going. Everything's looking good. Let's have a look at we're going to have to move and position this around. It's going to be painful, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So I want to start deleting faces now because this is going to get a little bit tricky. So grab that one, that one, that one. Delete face. So it's basically like a mesh, like a primitive, and I've just pretty much taken one face off a primitive. Now we're going to go to edges. I'm going to grab the Alt to grab all of one edge. I'm going to go into Control 3, and then I'm going to grab it on the Y-axis. I'm going to go delete on the number pad, and I want to zoom in. I might even go into Wireframe Mode, maybe, just so I can see more what's happening. Grab wire, delete on the number pad so I can zoom in further. Grab on the Y, yeah. Okay, that should have worked out for me. Go back into solid mode. So now my roof should be in alignment with that. Should. Okay, go to. Okay, you can see where it's selected the back edge first. Now it's selected the front. Merge at last. Selected the back. Right click. No, doesn't want to work. Doesn't want to play. Let's go zoom. Because it's overlapped, that's why. There we go. Merge at last. A little bit of a problem with it by the looks of this. Don't want to select the back, I want to select the front. Merge last. A. Okay, we're going to go to the middle again. You can see that they're both joined up because I selected both at the one hit. Go to there. Back edge. Front edge, merge, last, A. Back edge, zoom in further so I can see the friggin' thing. Merge, last, A. Okay. Obviously, with a primitive, you'd never be able to get that. You would never be able to get that. That'll be a nice, clean, smooth roof up the top, and it'll curve down. Everything will look pretty good. Now, because I know that that's all lined up, go there to there, merge at last, A. Come over to here, go there, there, merge at last, A. Actually, while we're here, No, because that front edge is going to be a bit tricky. She's going to be a bit tricky. Oh, look at that. See, here we go. We'll just keep working on the back end for now. So, A, select all, deselect. Edges, I want to go edges, Alt, right click, I've selected all the edges. Control 3. Grab Y. I'm not multiplying edges, I'm just grabbing it. And we're going to try and line it up. Maybe we should go top view for this, I think. I'm thinking top view. Top view is number pad 7. Okay, grab Y. We'll go into verts with wireframe, just so we can get in closer and closer. Grab Y. Oh, it needs to go back. Grab Y. That looks good. That looks good. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. So we can go to A. We'll go, I want to keep it on verts. We'll go to solid. Merge at last. A. Merge at last. A. Okay. Control 3. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. What does it look like in a different perspective? That's not too bad. Maybe it just looked dodgy because of the wrong perspective that we're in. That looks pretty good. I think we're good. Shift, Control, sorry, to move across. It's actually looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Let's do the front as well, I reckon. Yeah, bugger it, let's do it. So we're going to select them faces. Actually, while we're here, remove doubles. 0 is removed. Okay, we're going to go to select face 1. Right click and hold shift. That's funny that holding shift doesn't bring up Karnak with telling me multiple times. Anyway, okay, we're going to go duplicate, which is Shift D. So Shift D Y, bring it forward. I just basically copied it. That's all I did. And while we got that there, grab Y. Let's delete them other faces. We don't need them. I was actually expecting to get the whole upper body done, but I think I'm going to be, yeah, nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. And we'll delete them faces. You can see there, I've just completely opened it up. Now, let's go border select, wireframe mode, border select, so I get all of them. Back into solid. I'm going to go top view, which I can't remember the number value for it, so we're going to look for it. Number pad 7. Center it. Let's scale it on the Y. Scale Y because it doesn't have to be that big. Go there. Grab Y. Okay. But I want to be accurate, so A to deselect. And we're going to go out of face mode into edge mode, Alt, to select all of one face. All of one edge, sorry. Number 7 on the keypad, I believe it said. Delete on the keypad so that I am in top mode. Now I'm in ortho mode, so everything should be square on my screen. I'm going to grab that on the Y axis and I'll bring that in, and I'm going to turn it into wireframe so I can get close. Have I gone over or under? No, we're good. Everything should be alright. Go into Control 3. And no, we're not good. We'll need to go further. Grab Y. I had a little bit of a snap then too, so that should be perfect. That should be alright. Looks good. Solid mode. And vert mode. Okay, I want to quickly zoom all the way and see where it is. I want to go into there as well. Control 3, wireframe. No, we're way out. What's going on there? Shouldn't be that far out. Perspective, also. Into solid mode? No. What's going on here? Okay, let's go to the top, make a point up here. We're way out. Okay. Go into edge mode, Alt. Go into there. We're still in ortho or local? Perspective, also. Grab Y. That's better. That's way better. Okay, start linking it. Go back into solid. Merge it last. Hey, come back up the top. merge at last. There, there. Come on, select it. Because it's overlapped. Merge at last. A little bit of difference in it. Don't know why that is. There is a way of snapping them as well. Snap them together, but doesn't always work perfect for me. I don't know why. At last, go around. Merge at first. A control 3. Wireframe mode. That's going to be the tricky part. Fun for the whole family. Trying to get that nice and the round part's not the bad part, it's the trying to get the angle. It's going to be difficult because I don't have a measuring point for it. That's going to be tricky. Oh, nah, we're laughing. We're laughing. Absolutely laughing. We'll go into ortho mode, not perspective mode, but ortho mode, and we'll try and run it along that line, along them lines, and it should work out good. Then I should just have to merge it straight down. Everything should be good. Sorry, not merge it, extrude it, then merge it down. Actually, no, that's going to be painful. That's going to be painful. Oh my God, what have I done to myself? Okay, let's go and have a look at that. For starters, let's go grab all the edges and bring them in a bit closer so we know what we're looking at. Okay, we go into Control 3. Grab Y. Yup. Nope. Grab Y. Oh, it's on a tilt. Because when I first angled it, it wasn't perfect. That's why. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now I can go into solid mode. Pick verts. Start dragging them around. Merge at last. Go around to the opposite side of the model. Go there. Go there. Merge at last. Now we are going to go into top view, which is 7 on the pad. Back into wireframe. It looks pretty good there. And we'll just start selecting verts and bringing them back until they line up. We're in ortho, not perspective. We need ortho. Now we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I hope I've got all them, the whole lot of them. We'll find out in a second. We'll find out. So if I go grab Y, G for grab, Y for scaling on the Y-axis. And I need to go forward now, grab Y. And I go shift and scroll the mouse to move backwards, control and mouse to get onto that line if it lets me, because I want to see it. If I don't get this nice and straight, you'll often notice with some mesh models that they've got these weird patterns and they shine differently. So I want to try and avoid that. Grab on the Y. And this is going to be a pretty tricky part, and guaranteed, no matter how much effort I put into this, it won't be perfect. So if I go control, go across the other side now, we'll see how perfect and true the model is, I guess. Back you go. That looks pretty good. It's on the line. Okay, get out of there. Go again. At the moment there's no faces on the front. There is a few tricks that we can get to make it look smoother, but you'll never get perfectly smooth. So I'm just deselecting as I'm going. Try and get that looking half decent. Control to go sideways, not capitals. Grab Y. Yep. Looks pretty good. You can deselect them two now. Deselect, deselect. Move across to the next one. I've cocked up. Control, no, 7. There you go. Sometimes there's only like little bits and pieces of the model that it'll trip you up. But if you get it as good as you possibly can when you first get to it and you know it's going to be difficult, just make it nice and clean, and it makes life easier later on. Okay. Deselect that one. Deselect that one. So that shift right click. Keep going out. Grab Y. Move shift. Scroll the mouse wheel. You can probably hear the mouse wheel. Probably needs a bit of oiling. Grab Y. Okay. Go across again. Oops. Karnak. Gotta love Karnak. Sometimes it does things the way you want it to, and sometimes it doesn't. Grab Y. Zoom in again. Just using the mouse to scroll in and out. Looks pretty good. Last one. Shift, deselect, shift, deselect. Grab Y. don't move just yet. See, I thought it was perfect, but it wasn't. Grab Y. Very good. And A, deselect. Going into solid mode. So it looks half decent. We've got the basic shape of what we're after anyway. So if I go and have a look at a picture, I've got the front done. I'm going to put the mounting plates on there, but I'm not going to put the number tags on there because I'm going to put them on later on a primitive, and I'm going to make them glow. See if I can find a proper photo of it or an up close photo. Okay, there we go, there's a good one there. Top right hand corner. So we've done the round corner up the front and put it into a point. And the back. We've made that nice and square around the back as well. These number plates here actually point out really far. So I'm going to make a couple of triangles and we'll mount them in there. What time do we have? Whoa, 7 o'clock. That's the 2 hours. Let's go back and have a look at the model. Okay, so next time around, we are going to make faces for here. Across there, I'm going to make faces across there as well. Faces across the back end of the cab and faces for the rear. Hopefully everything should be good and we start cutting holes in it next time around. But for now, file save because I don't really want to do that again. Did I actually save that as something? I'll check it before I turn my computer off anyway. So, if I go into Wireframe Mode, Control 3, you can see where we're up to. So you can see where... Ooh, that angle doesn't look right, does it? But then again, we did have problems with that other picture too. So the other picture was... Let's go to View down here. That was the front. So obviously perspective is never ever going to be correct. But we did line that cube up so that everything was going to be alright. So I think we're still on a winner. I think we're alright. Maybe this picture here, the one where the locomotive's red, maybe that's on an angle going up a hill. I don't know. I didn't take the picture. I'm only using the picture as perspective, and that's about it. We are going to use these pictures again as well. But I've got more... not views. I want this view here. There we go. I got more faith in this image here. Got a lot more faith in this one. But that's where we're up to at the moment. So next time around, we'll be looking at side vents. You can see here with my arrow, the side vents are the same both sides. I've checked all the different models. Some vents go in, some vents go out. It's a bit odd. Separating the two cab doors. We're going to put holes in it and make cab doors. we're not going to put the twin headlights in. Let's go to Google. There on the image. We're not going to put them in. The reason why is because they are exactly the same on a lot of different models. So if I go to, let's go to, let's see. Victorian. Was it a T? T class? Locomotive? It should have the same thing on it anyway. There we go. Yeah, it's exactly the same. The T class is actually the Victorian version of what we're building. As you can see, there's the lights. Exactly the same. Only it's on an angle. There's the lights again. Same ones right there. Ugh, it's a really bad picture. Yeah, same lights, they're just on angles. So I'm going to make them a separate unit altogether so I can use them on multiple different models and different models I'm making in the future. So it should just make life a little bit easier. So that's something I'm not going to put into this model. We'll do that separately. The ends of the body, we've done that today. One face has one end of the body, the cab, the loco side. Yeah, you see it's got two faces on the front. Go back to the back edge. It's got three faces because there's a door in the middle and it's flat. It's flat completely across the back edge. So that's what we've done today in our model. Go back to solid mode. And you can see we've put a face in the front, three face in the rear. Obviously we're going to have to put a door in there. Come around here and we're going to put a door in there. The driver's side, which is this side, doesn't have a door there, and it doesn't have a door there either. So there's a few things we're going to do, and all the models are exactly like that, all the different versions, so that's where we're at. Now, next time around, what do we got here? Next time around, I've got to look into daylight savings. I'm not 100% sure on what time I'll be live streaming. The reason being, we change our daylight savings time here in New South Wales, Australia, but I don't think Second Life changes theirs. So I'm going to do some research into that. That is going to be 2 weeks away. So hopefully I'm going to have a time zone for us next episode, episode 3, where we're going to keep working on the main part of the body. We're going to smooth everything out as well, cut some holes in it, put some lights in it, or cut some holes for the lights anyway. We're going to use prims for lights. The reason being, you can script them, you can project them where mesh doesn't project. I don't know why. Well, I've been struggling with it. Maybe it's the scripts I'm using, I don't know. We're going to do that. We're going to cut a lot of holes into this model as well. We're going to put a fan into it. We're going to cut 2 lights at the rear. 4 lights at the rear, 4 lights at the front. We're going to cut windows in the sides. We're going to cut the doors out. And I'm thinking of also, I know this is going to be pretty painful, but I'd like to also put a floor in and the cab as well, all into one upper half of the model. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Kind of looks in perspective anyway. Yeah. So that's where we're up to. So, for now, call it from there, and get ready for next Monday or Sunday, 2400. Well, thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to the next episode now. That's really good. I want to keep going, but I've got to go and cook dinner. So, anyways, have fun, and we'll see you all next time.